and ready to go.
I know, I'm looking forward. It's going to be a really exciting matchup here. These two have both had a fun path here going through the tournament to get here so far. And currently, right now, we're seeing all sorts of fun here to start. Decent start screen near the vanilla start screen, so the runners will hopefully get a lot of open caves here early.
And a free piece of paper ensuring that they will be able to purchase any potions if they get cursed by those awful, awful red bubbles.
Oh, absolutely. And we do have a level here right in the early going here for BT. Could have been level 5 maybe from where the first couple of things that we were seeing was. Not positive about what it actually is going to be, but it looked like it could have been that from the spot that he found. We got more exploration going on here. Both these runners have had a really fun run here throughout the tournament. Both runners actually went 3 and 2 in the Swiss phase, with BT having an incredibly difficult path through, where he faced RC Drone in the very first round of Swiss. A close race, but Drone took the win there. And then fought through Pretzel and Amo, and then had to come up with from a 1 and 2 record to be able to win against both Crimson Avex and Gary and Old Wolf in order to be able to advance to the Swiss phase. YourMajeste had wins against JLo, Lanagab, and Fury as part of the path through the Swiss phase, and then now in the bracket phase here, these are both in the bonus round. So the victor will continue to move forward through the tournament, while unfortunately the loser will have to exit the tournament at this point. So it's got a lot of excitement here on this race as we see some of the any roads showing up.
We've got our small secret at 18, and a raft spot taken up by one of those take-inies.
I have to say, as creator of all this stuff, I get a little disappointed when I find the raft spots show up as the any roads, because I'm one of those people who would love to see the madness of required rafts, and that's going to make things a lot harder for that to happen.
Those chain reaction scenes, yeah, always in, it's not too far away in the second quest overworld.
Oh yeah. So we're still in the early going here. Again, our runners, I'm sure many of you have, seen this stuff before, but right now we're looking to try to get some form of weaponry so that way they can go to explore. There's a number of open caves throughout Hyrule here that they are all going to be hunting for, and they're both actually heading to go search the same approximate area. BT taking the screen scroll over through the Lost Woods, whereas Majeste is taking the walking path here. And interesting... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of those open caves is guaranteed to hold our wood sword / blue candle.
Yeah. Actually, interesting. BT did a gamble there. As part of the gambling there, potentially could have won 39 rupees, instead lost 7. But if things get desperate for money, there's a chance that they could potentially use a money-making game there to be able to get through. As Majeste's now stuck on the ladder here, trying to get past these Octoroks. Not much health left either, so gonna have to get through and makes it. And so what are the runners facing so far here for the overworld? Care to fill in the people who are watching who may not have seen this portion of the tournament?
Well, our enemies are shuffled at ±4, so their vanilla hit points will either be +or -4. And other than that, they're really just kind of looking to find some levels, find maybe a blue candle. Definitely want to pick up that wood sword.
They're going to find money to be much tighter on this as well, because we are actually on a second quest overworld, which means you'll see some places that that we normally see, but at the same time, now you're going to potentially, one of the main differences onto the overworld is the fact that I think there's a door repair 2 more, but on top of that, normally in the first quest overworld, there's 3 100 secrets, or large secrets. Here, there's 1. So it'll be interesting to see here. We've got BT with barely any life here left, trying to dodge his way over to try to get to the waterfall, get a couple of other spots here, whereas Majeste is going to go check out the rest of the grave here.
Yep, gotta spend your money wisely here in the second quest overworld.
Oh, geez, and BT having to dodge around the P-hats. Majeste taking a 29 rupee win on the money-making game. So both players actually sticking their heads into the money-making game. Oh, this is going to be a hard screen for BT to get through. And he's not even going to give it a try. I think he's willing to come back here later if it turns out that the wood sword is up there. Hopefully he'll have some other weaponry.
Your Majesty finding this dungeon here, but opting to say, nope, I need some kind of offense before I dig into that.
It's an interesting strategy there. Oh, there's level 9.
Level 9 high five.
It's interesting. I mean, if Majesty had really wanted to open that door, he could have. The locked door that he saw across from the start there. If you exit and re-enter the level, normally we see it in the vanilla speedruns with level 1 that it opens up the locked door at the top of the screen. Oh gosh, that was a lovely screen with way too many blue Lionels there. But in the randomizer, especially with the entrance shuffle, what it ends up being is it'll open up whatever door is across from where you enter the screen. So it's a really nice trick sometimes to get some doors open that you normally wouldn't expect to try to open.
Yep. Sometimes you have to do a little geometry and say, all right, I entered on the left-hand side. If I want to open the top, I have to, enter the overworld screen from the top in order to do that pirouette.
So it looking like right now probably the wood sword's going to be somewhere here in the forest or the coast. Oh wow, that's an interesting set of prices there for the potions. 30 rupees for the blue potion and 81 for the red, which means that technically you might sit there and want to go buy 2 blues if you're willing to give up the time to save money.
beeTeas has found his wood sword south of the coast item, which is our vanilla heart.
Oh, we got the boring heart container there. Ugh. Oh, got his bombs though. That's good for him. Majesty is probably about to go get the sword as well there. As long as we can get through the screen without taking much damage, and it's good to go here. So now both of our runners have their weapon. Now they can start to potentially explore the levels here. We are still looking at 5 Triforces to get through to be able to complete the seeds here. Let's see what we get here. Okay, and we're still hunting for that Armos item. Likely going to be either the Armos up here, just north of where BT is about to go, or it could be the Armos up in the Lost Hills, but likely one of the two. And by likely, I mean it better be at this point. Ah, boy. So this is gonna be that's potential to be a good seed here. You've got both players who are both very experienced here with Randomizer. BT has been playing this pretty much since near the beginning, and I want to say Majesty has also been playing this, for an incredibly long time. So both of these racers know their game incredibly well. Now it's just a case of trying to face off against each other with apparently very, very strong Lionels too. That was nasty.
And BT's manages to find the power bracelet here under the Armos, so that will open another 7 locations to him. And one right here to the right.
Really? Why are they getting all the boring items? Don't get me wrong, I like the power bracelet.
Yeah, second quest, it's certainly not boring.
That does help, but I'd love to have that, back in level 9. To then go out to get the power bracelet to go get the bow somewhere. You're making it a little too easy.
Alright, we got level number 2 here.
With that entry point, that's probably level 2 actually. That's my gut feeling.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well.
Which is a great level to find in the early going. You got a wood sword. I mean, never mind, I'm not going to comment on what I could potentially be in here because I don't want to jinx runners.
Oh, but we have a ladder block right off the bat. Not getting anywhere further in this dungeon.
Oh, did you just notice what Majesty discovered there as he was breaking up those keys? Those holes there? Possibly super virus, but definitely the red keys are super keys. Oh, and we got another level here for BT. But they won't be going into level 2 anytime soon. Oh, nice. This is going to be exciting to see this part. This is looking like 8.
Ooh, manhandle. That's not what you want to see.
No. Oh, don't want this room either.
Ooh, blue wizrobes. Yuck, both runners taken to death almost simultaneously.
This is one of those levels that if I'm the runner, I'm saying, yeah, I'm coming back later.
Your Majesty, gonna try again. And beeTeas is finding his ladder block here. It looks like those were Vires that Your Majesty found earlier.
Oh.
And Your Majesty using both those potions right off the bat. Interesting play.
Yeah, well, if they only cost 30 rupees, they're not that bad. I mean, really, you still have to go through a lot of stuff to get there, but you know, could be worth it. All depends what we find here. I mean, this room is a dark room, so it will not have the Triforce in it. But if it has a book, we'll be in good shape, and a nice, well-timed clock there for Majesty. So,
Really digging the bubble sprites that he's got here from Zelda 2.
oh yeah, it's got some good stuff there. Just hoping to be able to kill that.
And BT's finding a level up here on top of the waterfall. This is level number 4 that we've found so far.
I'm trying to see if he can get a bomb drop here before he goes, and of course, all the way on the other side of the lake.
So why does that one water spot not respond to the ladder?
Turns out the way that the game is coded, the game only checks on 6 specific screens in the overworld to determine whether or not you can use the ladder to cross it. And that's just one of the 6, that's not one of the 6 screens, so that's why the ladder isn't there.
Interesting. I remember like watching the first few tournaments being like, alright, they have a bunch of Lionels or Wizrobes on that screen. Why don't they just like cross that water there? They have the ladder.
But yeah, no, that's as I said, that's basically the reason here. Yep, we got confirmed. I was just about to say BT has found level 3 here, so gonna be heading through here. This is a nice easy level typically in terms of size, so hopefully be able to find the item reasonably quickly here. And the runner's needing the bow in order to be able to shoot arrows to kill the final Ganon, and they actually need the silver arrows to kill Ganon. Technically, everything else may not be needed in order to defeat the game.
And with the 4 levels so far, chances are that we won't need that power bracelet or recorder, but still up in the air.
Oh, lovely here. We don't like seeing Moldorms here, but Lanola, but great trick by BT. You can block clip onto the blocks, they can't hurt you, and you can save yourself a lot of time.
Speaking of Lanmol's cousin Moldorm there, he's guarding the silver arrows. So
Oh,
that's
fun.
one item down.
Man, I was looking forward to just seeing them have to sweat a little. I guess the bow could make them sweat. I guess the bow, there is nothing stopping the bow from, wreaking havoc, but the old man's desires to see pain and suffering are not quite happening yet.
Ooh, there's a ladder block there for you.
I'll take that. I accept that. Okay, the ladder is now required. It's interesting, depending on the level that's in, you might not always be able to get, you might not be able to necessarily get that, but in this level, it turned out that you cannot clip to get that Triforce. Level 5, where it appears on the river, you can often clip to that one.
Your Majesty jumped into that yellow dungeon, grabbed the heart container, but nothing else. Thinking maybe it's level 4?
Possible. I think my gut. I guess it could be 4. Actually, I feel like it could be 4, especially with what we're seeing here. My gut originally was 5, but this could easily be 4. Looking at it. BT's trying to figure out just in case it was level 3 or something. Could have potentially have been 6 or 7 actually, for all he knew. But no, I think with the. I think this is in fact.
Oh no.
Level 5.
He's gonna spend that key.
And selecting here to try to bomb north-south, unable to do so. So looks like we're going to come in, and we got a purple level here from Majesty.
Yep, that's 5 total. So if they can find that ladder somewhere, they can clear these 5 levels that they've found and jump into 9.
Yeah. And again, all they just need 5 Triforces. Technically, it's actually possible that the ladder is not actually, they could be in level 9, because it could be that you're not intended to get the Triforce out of level 3 there. It could be that you're intended by the logic to have to go a different way. Our runners here. Oh, and another potential ladder block here, and that's got to be 7 for Majesty with that pathing. That is definitely level 7 there. Man, we're finding all these levels now. They're all coming out of the woodwork.
Yep, this one under power bracelet spot.
Ooh, power bracelet required. I guess that's moderately acceptable, just despite the fact that it was, you know, just laying there, easy to get.
Yep, and compass there just lying on the ground.
Oh, what a crime.
There's vanilla red dark nuts at 4 HP.
Not quite. The bomb hit there didn't quite kill it. It might be like a 5 or a 6. Looks like we're getting a bunch of fun. Oh, and of course, second to last enemy getting the clock there for BT. Majesty is now checking out some of the other push block areas around here.
Here's another ladder block, wow.
And I think he's in 4. Is this 4 or 1? I can't tell if it's 4 or 1. I didn't.
Yeah, I was thinking it's level 1.
No, it could be. I can't see if, Nope, there's the side room there. That's not... I think this is 4. Let's see if we're right. It's 4.
There we go.
He is ladder blocked out of 4. That's 3 dungeons now that we're getting ladder blocks on. Oh my gosh.
So maybe that ladder is the white sword item.
Could be. It could also be behind some of these key spots that we haven't seen yet. Oh gosh, this is an ugly... Oh! And Majesty taking a death there with the super Lionels of Doom. I mean, it could be easily behind one of those key doors. You know, it's possible that the siege is going to require these runners to purchase a key or 2 in order to really get going here. It's not always required, but it can definitely happen.
Not unheard of.
And BT stepping now into the level that we know is 7. There's a slim chance that he'll be able to bomb through. I don't know if Majesty bombed every wall or not here. I know there was what looked like a potential ladder block, but there was also this room where I think that they could have gone left, potentially. Oh, no, Majesty definitely did bomb that room. No, this is another ladder block level.
And your Majesty up on Death Mountain finds a Take-Any cave, now armed with the blue candle.
Yeah, it's true. We have seen, actually, the Blue Candle shop. I believe there's one northeast of Vanilla, level 2, but it was like 55, 56 rupees or so, I want to say. Majesty discovering one of the hint caves up in the top corner of the map. I don't think you'll see any runners come back here for them, because we need to have the book in order to understand the old men.
Not out of the realm of possibility, because there was a Take-Any pretty close to that, the Take-Any road.
Your Majesty missed the power bracelet spot there at B2 essentially, so it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully that won't be a level that will come back and bite them in the end. I don't. No, hopefully not at this point. We've seen most of the levels. I think 1, 4, and 6 are the only outstanding levels. We've had the rest of the levels are all they're just mediocre. They're definitely not outstanding.
Well, we found level 4.
Like I said, 1 and 6 are the only outstanding levels. I think you misheard me. Looks like BT is about to go buy the candle. So now they'll both have the candle access here. And oh, looks like Majesty has. This could be either one. Okay, this is 1, and with another key block. Well, decent chance we'll find a key in here, and I think these lovely Gyptos here are normal health, so that will definitely help for our combat here.
And hopefully they drop a key, because you cannot banana key in this room.
Let's see here. This should be a good set. It's good, decent odds. There we go. But I'm gonna check the next room over before using this key, just in case. And there's another key, so yes, we're in good shape. These price bombs too, just notice that.
Yeah, there's a free compass.
So now we know where the Triforce is. Of course, now the runners still have to go through here. BT, Majeste clearing the room here, looking to probably try to get some extra bombs out with all the bomb droppers that are in here. And after the Darknet decides to die, has decided to move on.
Ooh, there's our bait block.
Fortunately, level 1 usually is a safe path. You might have to use a key or two, but otherwise usually not too bad. And definitely not seeing any drops in that trap room.
And of course the Wall Master dropping a clock.
But the one time you definitely do not want to take an item from a Wall Master there, because that clock will be annoying. You'll have to exit the room and re-enter it to get everything. We have right now discovered, as I said, almost all the dungeons. So it doesn't look like we'll necessarily have a troll, unfortunately, in terms of getting into the levels, unless it turns out that level 6 has the bow and is somewhere, really difficult to get into. Could be a recorder block at this point.
Yeah,
Or it could be the other raft swap.
We could also always be blocked by a boss, the Dig Dog or Goma.
I accept your theory and would be quite happy to see one of those happen. I said I'm not glutton for punishment or anything. I didn't put in the open, they'll definitely guarantee a level item in 9 flags too, for any other reason at all. Yeah, that's it. We'll go with that theory. Alright, what do we got here? And that's the heart container.
One step closer to that white sword item, and Patrick guarding compass, but not doing a very good job of it.
Just sitting right there. He wants to have a drink. Can't bomb south here because that's where the old man itself was. So at this point, Majeste's probably going to grab the Triforce. Presumably would duck back in because I don't think we've seen either item at this point.
Correct. 2 items at large in level 1.
Yeah, we need 5 items here in order to defeat the 5 Triforces to get into level 9. Still need that bow and silvers, and fairly certain at this point we need a ladder. Because I think we've seen 4 dungeons ladder blocked, so at this point that ladder is actually strictly required. I can dream. It's like, okay, maybe not, but definitely there.
BT's finding a cheap bait shop at 55, but we're not going to need that.
BT does find one of the free shops under. Oh, and thankfully Majeste gets the key there. That could have been really bad. Unfortunately, level 1 in vanilla actually has like 6 locked key doors. So it can be incredibly difficult to go find some of these.
Ooh, speaking of keys, I'll be glad to pick up that any key.
Oh yeah, it's now a very, very different seed now for Majeste. This is really going to help Majeste go through, hunt down some of those levels where they were having the key blocks in the first place and being able to get through. Getting a nice heart there too, because Gyptos can of course hug these players for 2 hearts of damage, and so if Majeste had taken a hug there, he was going to die. So fortunately with the extra heart there now, can take a single hug and be safe. And we've got of course, another clock at the very end of the room. I swear, I haven't yet programmed that in, guys. I swear, that was not something I've intended much.
More Wall Masters dropping clocks.
So, is that level 6 there? I don't think we've seen. At this point, this final level has been found. BT discovering that east of Vanilla 4 there. The last burn spot. So we have seen all 9 levels. There is no recorder required for the purposes of completing any of these seeds. I wonder if that was a forced bomb. Well, one of those two probably was. I think BT has figured out. At this point, BT probably has a good guess that this is actually level 6, just from the start of there. Oh boy, and there's the ladder.
Fortunately,
Majesty with the ladder there, which means that laying out on the floor in 1 is basically the path that's going to open up pretty much this entire seed at this point. Which is going to make things very interesting here. Because now, you know, we've looked around. We've seen already the fact that, you know, there's a number of key blocks, but we got those covered. We've seen there's a number of, you know, ladder blocks for Triforces. So the question becomes, do you blitz 9? You've got the ability to quickly go through. We've seen a number of these dungeons here. Do you blitz 9, especially, you know, now that 1's out of the equation and now almost every other level has only 1 item in it?
Yep, and they're only looking for the bow at this point.
Yeah, I mean, bow could easily be in level 9. So, I mean, at this point, I mean, it depends on, for me, I guess it depends on where, you know, how quickly you find those Triforces, but I think that is the bait block, by the way, because that's the Dark Nut there. So I believe that we have discovered the, oh boy, and this could be a fun room here for Majesty. Oh, and Dodongo eats the bomb.
He's a hungry little Triceratops.
Yeah, that's a shame. You'd think that, you know, he'd want a little bit more fiber and a little less explosives in his gastric system, but no, apparently it's a unique experience there. Either way, we're gonna see what happens here. We got BT is actually closing in here on. Oh, there we go.
Trying to burn that bomb spot. Oh, but takes a bot from that Octorok.
And that could be interesting, because sometimes when you have someone die, they won't necessarily come right back to that general area. They might take a different path. Oh, Ferdy bringing up a good point there in chat. That would be the awesome. That would be the best way to handle that there, would be we still potentially could have that recorded block if the White Sword item is blocked somewhere. Please, game. Please,
yes.
game.
Very good point. And I think that's the second key Your Majesty has unnecessarily spent, instead of doing those pirouettes.
Well, when again, that one ends up being a force of habit one that, you know, I think you'll see every randomizer runner make a pirouette sometimes when it's not seemingly needed, and it just comes because you just take that. You definitely take those left turns at Albuquerque sometimes. It's annoying, but you know,
just muscle memory.
Muscle memory, exactly. BT is going to have an interesting play through this level because BT does not have the any key yet, so it's really going to depend on how the level breaks down in terms of where going to be able to, you know, how far we're going to be able to get in here. His Majesty won't have that specific problem, and Majesty now has plenty of bombs, so shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully. And there's the key back at least. BT trying to get lucky, get a couple extra bombs there, kill off some of the enemies, so if he comes back through, he's not going to have to kill the room again, but having found the key on the floor there will make things easier this way. So if you clear this room, the bubble will stay alive. That way, if something happens unfortunate later in the dungeon, you'll get a clean slate going through that room.
And luckily those super ropes have rolled low.
Yeah, it's definitely a really nice feeling to get the ropes being normal. Any enemy that normally has low health, you love seeing them stay at low health. It's absolutely terrifying to sometimes, see some of those enemies like, Keese, like those fires that we were just seeing earlier. We're gonna, have 14 hit point, something like that, like 4 or 5 hit points on a Keese. Oh. And the preparation for BT paying off here, because if he comes back through, at least you won't have to clear those rooms again.
It always makes you do a double take that first time you encounter a super keys or a gel, and it's like, wait, I just hit him. Why isn't he dead?
Oh yeah. Oh, BT taking a lovely red bubble bop, and going to come back later, possibly directly, now that we've had the save. Unfortunately, that one very poorly timed death there, possibly costing BT some time because it took him away from where level 1 was about to be. But I love that trick. I still love that trick with the fairy fountains there. If you do an up A and continue after having hit the fairy while your health is refilling, then when you select continue, you will still get your health back. It will still continue to refill, so BT is able to get a quick refill and have a quicker path back too.
Looks like Your Majesty has found the transport staircase here. I'm gonna take it.
So this is going to move us up top here, trying to get through the rest of the rooms here. So now at this point, Majesty has seen there's one transport staircase normally in level 6, so now the next staircase that Majesty finds will give the item for this dungeon. Normally level 6 is one that a lot of runners don't necessarily try to dig through if they find the Triforce. It'll be interesting to see if the Triforce ends up being early here, whether or not Majesty will continue to dig, or whether Majesty will hightail it out of here.
I think that trope is mainly in shapes. Given the vanilla shape and the linear aspect of level 6. Generally not too bad of a dungeon to dig.
It depends. I mean, it all depends really on how big the level, not how big the level is, but where you find the Triforce. It's still a decent sized item. This looks like the wand, I'm going to presume here. That would be the wand.
That was my guess. A little difficult given Your Majesty's sprites, but you can figure it out.
Yeah, and that is the wand. So that's going to basically serve, for the most part, as a white sword level item, which is really great with all these red bubbles we're discovering. Pretty much the only thing it can't really harm are the whiz robes at this point, so that's going to significantly increase the combat capabilities here.
And that might have been another ladder block here. As beeTeas has found the first blue goma of the seed.
BT with the key exploring level 8. We know that will not lead to the any key or to the wand, but it might lead to some other stuff. I mean, potentially could even lead to the hints, and the hint shop was not that expensive. It's up in the northwest, so if BT heads up there, if the book is here, hypothetically, then that could potentially lead to some good knowledge.
And I think that compass does confirm that the Triforce out of level 6 is also ladder blocked.
And that would be correct. And Goma blocked.
Oh, blocked. Wow.
Which, again, does not necessarily rule out the bow out of level 9. And red candle here in one of the two items here in level 8. We're starting to see the levels, the items here starting to fill out here.
Yep, level 1 being the dungeon you want to dig first.
So at this point here, we're going to see it's still early as an ugly room. Oh my gosh, this combination of enemies. We got Pole's Voice, we got Wizro, at least the orange Wizrobes, and even looks like the blue Wizrobes are at least a little bit soft to hit. That's definitely a good sign. It looked like the orange Wizrobe was a one-hitter, and even the blue Wizrobe, which normally rolls, I want to say it was like 10-ish, at least is a little bit lighter.
BT BT's gonna opt not to take on those bunnies.
And not to take on the friendly neighborhood Manhandler. Not Manhandler, Gleeok. He's gonna now try to dodge Manhandler. But, nope. Oh, and it's a super Manhandler. Nice kill,
Takes
though.
it down, nice.
Wow, that was a really impressive kill there. 2 bombs for a super Manhandler. So again, normally Manhandler, the arms die to 4 hits each.
Oh, and we found our blue dark nuts rolling high.
Oh gosh. And this is a seed I'm glad I'm not playing. I am not. Combat can be one of my weakness areas, and the fact that you're having, hard dark nuts, who are, I think, like the bane of my existence, is definitely at best annoying. Majesty's still having a significant early edge here. You have the lovely block room from level 7 there on BT side, but Majesty with the ladder being able to cross some of these moats, with the any key being able to get around all of the key doors that are standing in the way that are blocking BT. BT, I think, keeps hoping to find a shutter door around.
Our bomb upgrade at 124. Very unlikely we're going to see that purchased.
Yeah, that is the highest possible roll of a bomb upgrade there. You can range anywhere from 75 to 125. But fortunately, BT is able to continue through the level. Question whether or not it's fortunate or unfortunate. Oh gosh, a possible Goma block for another item. Now, on the plus side for us, as viewers, we know that that means that that item has an incredibly low, and at this point virtually 0, chance of actually being required for completing the game, because if they're blocked by the bow, getting the bow won't matter in this case. But still gonna
be underneath that Goma, just like the recorder came underneath the big dagger.
Here's that staircase. At least BT can now find out whether or not we're ready. Don't kill. Careful. Okay. Good placement there. Didn't want to accidentally get a Triforce spawning immediately underneath BT. And BT has found a raft.
Majesty in this blue lagoon room.
Exact blue lagoon too from the vanilla game, and yielding.
Nice.
Oh my.
Bow.
Oh my. Bow is at 5.
And the silvers was it that level 3 that they were in?
Yeah, they were in level 3. So I mean, the primary issue at this point for Majesty is, when is he going to go up to check that White Sword Cave, which is an area that if you don't route in early tends to be one that people kind of ignore and don't bother coming back to later on.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fun screen, especially given the enemy setup there.
Yeah.
So BT's with the silver, Your Majesty with the bow. With their powers combined, Ganon will turn into bacon.
Oh, interesting to see how pathing goes here. So BT now knows, can't get anything there in level 2. Level 2 is completely blocked.
He's seen the ladder block in level 4. And I think level 6.
So at this point, let's see what BT does. So BT is going back into 6, which we know won't be bad for offense. But again, we have the knowledge right now that he needs to get back up to Death Mountain area to get into level 1 to be able to finish this out. Majesty is desperately hunting for that Triforce here on level 5. At this point, though, Majesty's covered 90% of the level, so it really is going to come down to just finding where things are. And skipping through the dark rooms, again, you don't need to kill a dark room in order to be able to get the Triforce. Just stay lovely, fun with the logic we have right now. But At the same time, dark rooms potentially could yield the compass, depending on the level, so it might be something to try going through. But at this point, I really feel like there aren't many other levels left here for Majesty to be able to go through. Yeah, let's see what happens here. This could be a lot of fun. These Dark Knight rooms are evil, especially with the large rolls, and with making very quick work here, with between the ladder being able to get onto the piece here, with the Triforce being able to, or not with the Triforce. And speaking of the Triforce, that's a nasty room to get there. I mean, fortunately, if you've got the ladder and the wand, you can make reasonably short work of that room, but it's still an ugly, ugly seed here for combat.
To answer a question in chat, I believe Your Majesty has a kind of like a king's crown as his sprite.
I believe that is correct. Majesty's sprite, I believe, is crowned with the idea of being Majesty.
And not sure if it's from a specific game or something like that.
BT stuck in a moat room there with traps in it, and without the ladder, that just leads to complete doom right there. PT coming back in, gonna see if we can get any other items here. Majesty continuing to explore around here. I don't think Majesty has fully explored Eastern Hyrule here, so going to be able to get a little bit more stuff cleared. I know it looks like going to go burn the second quest bush, or actually going down to the coast, which will see whether or not Majesty will go into level 7 here. That could be a potentially huge time sink.
Yep, is he going to make the Redbird grad play or not? Looks like he's going to jump in here.
Yeah, he's been in here for a couple of the rooms so far, so at this point it's just a matter of what he can do. BT, some good dodging there of the bombs actually, because the red bubbles there. You don't want to get those red bubbles. They can, they take the sword away, and really the only way you're getting back is by either drinking your potion, finding a blue bubble, or saving and quitting, pretty much. So it's going to be a little ugly there. But BT will to at least get the wand, I believe. I believe this was the other end of the wand. This was the wand staircase there. No, it's the other end of the connecting thing. And we're not, again, right now in terms of the items, we're reasonably set. We know, at this point, everything that the runners need. Even though there's still quite a number of quite a number of items out there that we don't actually know where they are. We know what's important. We know the ladder and the magical key are in level 1. Level 3 has the silver arrows in it, which when Majesty finds their way there, that can basically complete the puzzle here. Level 5 has the bow in it under a very heavy combat 8 Dark Knight room that's virtually the same as and it's required combat on those Dark Knights, very similar to when you're playing vanilla. Level 6, as you just saw with BT, has the wand in it. Level 7, we don't know. Level 8 has the red candle and the raft. The heart container is on the vanilla heart spot. The power bracelet was under and Armos. I really need to shuffle things a little bit better here.
Don't say that until they find the white sword in the white sword cave. Or no, here we go with the white sword. Ask and ye shall receive.
There we go. Okay, so the white sword's in 7s. That's going to be interesting. Majesty bailing on level 7 now, which makes sense. The level 7 is huge. Only 33 rooms are present in level 7, and so trying to run around and take care of that is going to be a pain in the bottom. Majesty's still looking for a couple more levels here. Majesty has 2 Triforces. Majesty knows where... Did Majesty get up to the north to Lost Hills? I'm not positive Majesty got up there or not.
Yeah, I don't believe so.
So that might be where we're routing right now, so we'll find the power... Oh, actually, I believe Majesty did find the power bracelet up here already, so at least we've seen some basic stuff up here. I just don't want to say so. But still hunting for a couple of those levels. We're going to find actually a bunch of levels up here, which could be really interesting, because I believe that 2 and 8 up here will show up. BT's digging 5 right now, and with only 1 key, this is a little, potentially could be risky.
And I did just notice on Your Majesty's side he had pushed a push block, so he definitely has the power bracelet.
Nice. So Majesty's going to hunt through level 8 here, trying to find the Triforce out of here. BT is digging, hoping to find something here to be able to help out. The bow will certainly be a key item, especially with the fact that BT already has the arrows. Now any of those Goma blocks we've seen earlier will not be a problem, which I think actually we have seen one Triforce already at that point. So
one Triforce, I think there was an item, maybe.
The enemy just died in just the wrong spot. BT desperately needs those bombs. It cannot grab them. Yes, answering the question in chat, I believe BT at this point definitely knows that he needs to have 4 Triforces. There are 3 or 4 levels that are ladder blocked at this point, so I think he's pretty sure he needs that ladder.
Majesty's saying nope to that red candle. About 45 plus minutes in, these runners getting a little nervous.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, anytime you're playing this game and you're starting to get to 45 minutes, especially with the level of competition you have in this tournament, you have a ton of possible things that you're going to start worrying about. And, the level of competition in this tournament is incredibly high. So, you're not sure what you're going to do here. And BT right now, low resources. Majesty discovering a compass up there. And, again, both of them are looking at their Triforce counts. They're both saying, oh my gosh, the other players probably found almost everything, especially Majesty's case. Majesty is saying, oh, I had Triforce, I had the, just basically saying, I found level 1 there, but where could it be? What are we doing here? So it's going to be, both their nerves are probably up high. Again, we're looking for 5. We got 5 items here that we need to, or 5 Triforces to get. And Majesty was going to try to, I think, clear the room out to try to get up to the compass there, and took an 8 to death. So we'll see if continues to come in here.
I think BT's has found the bow room.
We'll see if BT should be able to survive this. Again, this is the same style of combat you would see in the vanilla game, except that you have the white sword instead of the wood sword. BT, a well-known vanilla game runner, being able to, being one of the few runners out there in existence to have a sub-29 vanilla time. One of the runners has actually competed a couple of different races at GDQ, I believe the 100% race and the low percent race. So BT definitely knows how to handle this stuff, as BT now has silver arrows. So at this point, all BT needs is to find where that ladder is. And at this point, you gotta be saying Death Mountain's gotta be one of the more promising locations, assuming you get some bombs. Which BT gets bombed.
Definitely about time to make that Death Mountain play. So many ladder blocks in this seed.
Yeah, so basically, again, for those of you who haven't seen, level 2 was ladder block. Level 3, the Triforce, is ladder blocked. We have not yet seen, our BT has discovered that, Majesty has not yet discovered that. Level 4, the top half, is ladder blocked. Level 6, to get to the Triforce, appears to be ladder blocked as well. Level 7, to make any progress, is ladder blocked. So the ladder is definitely an incredibly important item to find here as we continue to go through. So again, that Goma block, the Seaman Goma block there in level 8 is not in fact a Triforce, at least. So that must be at least a little bit reassuring to Majesty. Looks like BT, as long as we survive this screen, will actually find level 1 here. And should be able to clear in the end, I believe, and get to the Triforce. Or should be able to get the magical key and the ladder in here, because if I remember it correctly, there's enough keys here in the early going to unlock everything. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting because BT again. Majesty has that little bit of a lead, but still missing the silver arrows. BT has a ton of knowledge about what we've seen up to this point, and I think is going to potentially fly once we get to the situation where he gets that ladder, because he's going to at that point pretty much be certain of knowing where everything is. And Majesty digging further into level 8 here, hoping to try to find where that Triforce could be. We don't know where it is. We know where the lovely recorder is, but the compass is for that room. We know it can't be in this room, at least. We know it can't be in one of the dark rooms. But really, that's the extent of our knowledge at this point.
Just a room or two that he hasn't explored.
Alright, and so, continuing our path through here, Majesty does have a bomb upgrade.
That did miss that.
We know it was an expensive bomb upgrade. Looks like it was 4 bombs for 124 rupees, so definitely on the expensive side. Probably not something most of our, we'll necessarily see all the runners go for, but at the very least, Majesty was able to take that, and those extra bombs actually turn out really handy, even though you know the shape of level 9. The fact that there's now a whole bunch of extra doors, it's, at best, painful.
Taking down those blue wizrobes. Gonna grab this compass, gonna tell him exactly where that Triforce is.
That was a really clean kill, too, by Majesty to get through there. Each wizrobe going down to 2 bombs, so actually a little bit lighter than normal. We'd already seen that. I think it was like either 5 or 6 up, and, 1 room over is the Triforce, of course. And
yuck! Free for the taking, but not taking it from that enemy.
And BT now getting through the level 1, getting to the magical key, and at this point going to continue to explore the rest of the level. BT has not been up to the room where the Triforce is, but that's perfectly okay. He's going to check out the remaining 3 rooms here, discover that ladder, and then technically, we know that, for all intents and purposes, he's going to be Triforce and go the rest of the way. We don't necessarily know that he knows that, because there could potentially be a recorder block somewhere. They both do know where level 9 is. So, that's at least one positive sign. But Majesty should be able to approach the room. We shouldn't need to do the ladder clip to get to the Triforce. In this case, should be able to work to the right and then north. But Majesty's going to go for the ladder clip again. And the only problem is, those wizrobes are back. BT now progressing along. We got the ladder. We're in good shape. And now this is a race. This is a real race here. Majesty's going to make this block clip. Has 4 hearts now, so should be able to absorb a tank shot from the. Should be able to absorb a tank shot from that landmula coming up here. BT claiming that first Triforce, and now we're going to be seeing things go incredibly fast.
Yep, first Triforce of 53 minutes, almost 54 minutes in. Can't be feeling very happy about that, but let's see just how fast he can fly through this.
And it's going to be interesting here, because this might actually change the tide of the game here. You've got BT, who has, as we've already seen here, BT, technically just in Triforce and Go level at this point. Majesty still needs those silver arrows and doesn't know where they are. They could be in level 9 for all we know. But going to explore level 2 here to try to get a Triforce and usually get a nice quick key item out of this. Oh, and those fires are beautiful. Those fires are coming down to the wand hits, so that means they have 2 hit points, even though we discovered earlier on that, they have the red keys or super keys. At least we can come through here and quickly wipe things out. Yeah, there we go. So we have Majeste now hunted through level 2. We know at this point that the item in here isn't going to be strictly needed for them, but never know exactly what's going to be. And you can tell Majeste's almost. Oh, never mind. We found the item.
Nice find with the red
Oh,
ring.
that is a beautiful find. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, that's going to quadruple defense, and at that point, you're going to have incredibly. Now the combat issues are definitely not going to be anywhere near as difficult as they once were.
Yep, and beeTeas might not dig level 2 for that, so if that's the case, he'll be Green Tunic Wood Sword versus Your Majeste's Red Tunic White Sword.
The real question still comes down to, are we going to find, is Majeste going to get 5 Triforces before getting to level 9? That's really before getting the silvers. Because if he does not discover level 3, then BT obviously has a huge advantage. If Majeste discovers where the Triforce is and it finds where the silvers are, Majeste's going to have a big advantage. This is actually a really, really tense race to watch. This is amazingly awesome.
Yep, Your Majeste just needs 1 more Triforce. Already located level 9, so that's not going to be a troll.
Yep, and heading away from the Lost Hills. Go back, go back, go back.
To answer the question, Chad, Your Majeste has not found level 3. That's the vanilla white sword location.
So right now we got BT going through. BT now knows where the Triforce is going to be, so now it's just going to be a case of heading down to that room and dealing with a lot more combat of blue Wizrobes here. Not blue Dark Nuts. Majeste just short of being able to pick up another potion here, but that'll be okay. I feel like with the wand, though we don't necessarily know what's going to be in level 9. But Majeste's interesting. Majeste is going back to a known dungeon for them, level 7, to hunt for the Triforce. There. Very
interesting call. Given that level 3 is available, or level 4.
Yeah, 4 might be the best play, really. But again, I forgot where level 4 actually is. And of course, that's like the one level I forgot to write down. And
I believe it's just a couple screens from their start location.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, then that's not. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the one up near the burn bush, I think. There, or was that 6? Oh, one of the 2. Either way, this is still gonna be. I mean, it's still potentially fast play. It's one of those plays that you look at and you look for the risk of, can we get that Triforce early so that we don't have to get, so we don't have to, try to dig for other levels again. At this point, I think Majeste, especially with 4 Triforces under their plate, is going to say, okay, I'm just going to go level 9 and hope that the Triforce is there. Of course, we know that that's not going to be the best decision in the end, just from having the quote-unquote perfect knowledge of where everything is, but hoping you find level 9. Exploring level 9 is always a good option. You have the ability to get the white, you have the ability, there's 2 items there. Could potentially be the book. If you find book, then you got the possibility of finding hints that might tell you where the Triforce is. And then on top of that, you have the gaining knowledge of Ganon and Zelda, and that actually ended up being a fast Triforce for Majeste.
It was, and beeTeas is in level 4 here. I think one of the reasons Your Majeste hasn't jumped in here, because I don't think he's checked this spot. It's the Southern Coast push block.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Majeste hasn't checked a lot of the hidden spots here. Majeste's heading to 9. Majeste is definitely heading to level 9 here.
Man with a mission.
So here we go. Majeste is going to start digging to level 9. So what are we looking for here in level 9 specifically? Again, assuming that we know that we think the silvers could potentially be in here.
So we're looking for a shutter door. With Ganon undefeated, it will remain closed even with the enemies cleared out. We are looking for a number of hints, either the location of the compass, the silver arrows, the kidnapped, or the beast. And then we are listening for the roar of Ganon. He will make his presence known one screen adjacent to him, northwest, south, or east. Regarding those hints, the total number of possible hints is 3. And they could, of course, be taken up by a mugger room. We haven't seen any of those yet in this seed. As beeTeas is up to 3 Triforces. Just, 5 minutes ago he grabbed his first, so it's definitely hitting the gas pedal.
Yeah, beeTeas' combat is insane. And so it's going to definitely be interesting to see here what he does. He had a 7-2, really? Interesting. I like it. I mean, again, just from a perspective, he still needs 2, so he has to get through there and find that Triforce, but it's going to be an interesting battle here. Not wanting to dig level 8 potentially for a Triforce, so still need to get something in addition to that.
Is that like the book, maybe?
If that's the book, that is huge for Majesty, because with the book, Majesty will be able to actually potentially get hints here in terms of what items are potentially where, which will really help out, especially with the current lack of knowledge. And
he's crossing his fingers. He finds that the silvers lie elsewhere.
Yeah, that hint's exactly what Majesty needs right now. Yeah, it's definitely confirmed the book now. BT finding the compass there, so now that's going to be a quick Triforce, since once you know where it is there in 9 and 7 rather. I can't talk tonight.
I was about to say, Triforce in 9. What have you been doing to the randomizer, Fred?
I mean, you don't know what's coming up soon. I mean, there could be an upcoming feature or something at some point here if I'm really feeling for it. I do want to move Ganon and Zelda possibly out of 9 at some point. I just need to do some other stuff. But more importantly right now, BT grabs that Triforce out of 7. So now we are at 4 out of 4 Triforces. Just needs 1 more.
And where is he headed? Up the coast?
Yeah, so at this point, maybe grabbing the raft heart there, or the ladder heart, and then just wandering. I'd say probably go up to where 8 and 2 are. Try to check out 2. At this point, you want to dig, you want to get items. The red ring will turn out to be an awesome find, and I believe it will essentially be on the shortest path because once BT gets the compass, he's going straight.
Oh, nope, he is taking this Takeny. Where's he headed?
Where are we gonna go to? Let's see.
To that mountain.
Not the intended one. They all, to answer the question in chat, everyone does know where level 9 is at the vanilla start screen, so both of them found that one reasonably early here.
I want to say like less than 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it was a stereo discovery too. BT using those silver arrows, which is absolutely awesome to use as a weapon. It's essentially the same strength as a magical sword hit, so it's absolutely great for crushing enemies in a very quick and efficient manner.
Just gotta be careful of that rupee count. You need at least 1 to kill the pig.
I've definitely seen BT end up on the wrong end of that in various vanilla playthroughs before once or twice. So usually that's something that stays in the back of the head. But BT here entering level 2, which means that BT will probably walk out with a red ring.
Yep,
Getting all the bombs finally.
Early ring.
Yeah, BT's not wasting any time checking any of those side rooms. Just walking straight down. Aside from, dodging enemies who are about to shoot him. And there we go. So now BT gonna be able to tank through level 9. Got the, on wood sword. but we're going to have the advantage that if BT finds Ganon or Zelda at any point, that he'll have what he needs. His Majesty, having to be careful here. Down to a half heart. 1.5 hearts, like I said. Near 2 hearts-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yep, just like that, within about 10 minutes, beeTeas has caught up very nicely.
BT taking an extra couple seconds just to fill up the bombs to make sure that we got the play here, and then gonna go down and grab the Triforce and head off probably to level 9 at this point. What Majesty really needs right now, Majesty really needs to find that staircase. I mean, the plus side here is that Majesty's covered a decent amount of level 9, so has to be able to figure out where Ganon is reasonably soon. I mean, they're probably up in the northeast there. There we go. BT going back to start, and now about to head off to level 9. No knowledge currently of any various animals' last bomb being used by Majesty to try to get up to this other area here. So again, the question becomes, can Majesty quickly find that hint that says silvers are elsewhere? Although, gonna have to try to fight this Patcher here, hoping that that will yield the staircase. Might not need a hint if you get the second item, if you're able to find the second item here quickly. And it's the staircase. Is this the staircase we need? It is not. It is another transport stair. Another Patcher too. The annoying thing about Patchers is they sometimes can mask the roar of Ganon, so if you listen really carefully, apparently you can tell the difference between the two. I've never been one of the people to really catch that in the ear.
Oh, and there's the second item for your Majesty. It's
And the recorder. That is dangerous. That is a dangerous discovery for Majesty, because that might lead Majesty to gamble and head for all the recorder spots. His Majesty now knows that they have to go find level 9, wherever it is.
Could also be thinking that the silvers are the white sword item too.
Yeah, it could be that. I mean, again, a couple of levels Majesty didn't find yet, so this is not necessarily going to be great there, but hopefully we'll get a quick path up to Death Mountain and be able to pull this off.
Yeah, BT down to 7 rupees. Gotta be careful. Oh, there we go. Down to 0.
So interesting to see what happens here. BT now with the bombs, but technically if he was to walk into Ganon right now, we'd have a minor issue here. Will be interesting what happens here. There is the possibility. Well, I guess we found Zelda's room. BT grabbing that 1 rupee that he needs.
Maybe he'll keep that bow in his inventory for now.
Yeah, hopefully it'll turn out. But again, while BT is now continuing to explore, I think heading possibly closer to Ganon, because at this point, Ganon likely, from the exploration we saw from Majesty, Ganon is probably up in the northeast here. And almost, nope, the 2 shutter doors in that room. I was having my momentary hope of, oh my gosh, is that the right room? But we don't know. Just listening for that roar, just to see if we hear it. It would actually be annoying here, because if BT discovers if BT gets red bubble, we could be in trouble. But yeah, so ooh, that was close. That was incredibly close there. But yeah, so those of you who hadn't seen anything up to this point, we can at least give you. Oh, we have a roar of a pig. And the pig is up in the normal vanilla blue ring room, up in the top corner. The question is just simply, what's the path there? It looks like it's going to be bombing in from this room here. You can't take a stair room typically to the pig. But here we go. BT to fight against Ganon.
In a molten room.
That shouldn't be too bad for a player like BT, especially with Red Ring. It's going to take something between 11 and 15 hits to kill Ganon here, because the wood sword, again, Ganon's got normally 15 hit points plus or minus 4. In this case, you can never go above 15. So it looks like BT's got a great stun lock here. And down goes Ganon. With that single arrow. That would have been really bad if we'd had a miss there. So at this point now, BT's just going to explore. All we need now is that single shutter door. There's going to be a shutter that's going to open even if there are enemies in the room, and that will be the princess. Dark Groupie now checking out all the shops over here, all the stuff here in the grave area, hoping to try to find that one level or the White Sword Cave to find where the silvers are going to end up being. And with the exploration that Majesty did, if he gets back up to the White Sword area reasonably quick, there's a chance. There could be a chance, with all the exploration that Majesty's done. Majesty's got to know that Ganon's up in the northwest. Majesty's got to know that at this point, have very limited places for Zelda. BT hasn't explored the west part of the map here yet, so there's a chance that you could see.
Don't count anybody out. Level 9 is known as the Great Equalizer for a reason.
Oh yeah. You never know what's gonna happen. I mean, I keep expecting, looking through all those rooms, saying, is that gonna be it? Nope. Is this one gonna be it? Nope. Maybe that would be the hint that Majesty would need.
Yeah, he is headed towards level 4's location. Finds a take-in. I'm a little surprised he didn't pick up that potion. Here's level 4.
I think Majesty may have bought a potion at one point here, so possible that that's just the case.
Surprised he's all the way up to 74 rupees already after that bomb
but
purchase.
Here we go.
Oh, too late.
Ladies and gentlemen, get those GGs out in chat, because we have the official finish here. BT has finished first place with the official SRL time, 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 29 seconds.
I think BT's picked up his first Triforce just 18 minutes ago. A real pedal to the metal there at the end.
As I said, you can't put anyone in this tournament down in terms of their capabilities here, and BT is incredibly solid gameplay. The losses that even BT has, if you look at the list of losses of people in this tournament, are incredibly high caliber players. BT is definitely one of the best ones out there, and Majesty gave it a really good run. It just came down to not knowing where the silvers were. That's all it came down to for this seed.
And we have actually been joined by BTs. Congratulations, sir.
Hey, thank you.
What'd you think of the seed?
I felt like it gave away nothing.
Just needed to find that level 1 there.
Yeah, I was not encouraged to go in a Death Mountain area because it kept running out of bombs.
Yeah, and I think the one time that you did actually have, you had the ammunition there, definitely Blue Lionel ended up getting you, I think, one screen over from where where level 1 ended up being. But
it was actually
you were able to turn that around.
A red Octorok that killed me. I was just walking around with half a heart trying to get into the cave.
Okay, I was trying to save you a little bit there, but okay, we'll go with that theory. Revisionist history, come on, work with it. Oh, jeez. This is possibly Majesty is currently in level 4 in a lag room of doom. It looks like it's essentially the second blue lagoon in the sea that might be needed to get an item. Yeah, you guys were reasonably going back and forth there for a bit. You had the slight edge on the fact that you found level 3. Majesty was never able to find level 3 there to be able to extract the silvers out of there, and that ended up being the difference. Majesty was able to get the ladder a little earlier, and then just was able to go through things. How were you feeling when you finally got that ladder there? You know, at somewhere around the 50-minute mark, you know, or even a little bit later than that maybe. But how are you feeling on that?
I was thinking go mode.
Were you feeling nervous at all that Majesty might be, or what Majesty may have found at that point, or how are you feeling about that?
I was a little bit until I found the red ring in level 2, and I was like, oh, well, there's no way, you know, he has the ladder and level 2 at this point with how difficult everything was. I kept thinking that, like, level 6 and level 8 were holding the ladder and kind of funneled into him. And then when you found level 1 just hanging out with the ladder and any key, it was like, well, this could have gone a lot better.
Yeah, Your Majesty actually made that play for Death Mountain pretty quickly. Had the ladder, I want to say, within 20 minutes. But just unable to find these silver arrows.
Did just find the magical boomerang, though, in level 4, and proceeded to, for some strange reason, just ignore it and walk away.
I believe that means that level 9 has the book and the banana?
Recorder.
Recorder, alright. And
Yeah.
what's
Majesty
the,
discovered... Yeah, Majesty discovered both. We think that the white sword item will probably, therefore, be the lovely boomerang.
Okay.
But yeah, no one found the white sword cave at this point, and we're just trying to... You know, Majesty right now is still looking around trying to figure out where, you know, level 3 is going to end up being, because, you know, in the end, the seed... It was very interesting on the fact that, you know, there was a lot of hard stuff to be... None of the levels were willing to give you anything until you found level 1. But level, you know, aside from finding level 1 there, everything else turned out to be reasonably straightforward once you got into level 1 and got the recorder, got the ladder and the magical key to be able to explore all the other dungeons. If you had the perfect knowledge, if this was a router's seed, it would have been it potentially could have been an incredibly fast seed.
Yeah, just put the wood sword underneath level 1 and then call it a day.
Yeah.
But Your Majesty grabbed that recorder out of 9, and he's now clearing out the recorder spots here on the overworld.
The plus side, he is reasonably close to that waterfall area now, so maybe he'll head up and check those last couple out. Or I could just, you know, apparently steer him the opposite. Maybe Majesty, you don't want to go down there. I mean, you don't want to go up to the waterfall. That's it. You don't want to do that. It's not working, is it?
Not yet.
I tried my best. I failed miserably. Lesson is never try.
Yeah, so where's all the big monies in?
That's a good question. I don't think we even saw the big secret either. That might also be under a under one of these recorder spots or something. I noticed you were freely spending your money there with the silver arrows. Any concern there in level 9 when you suddenly discovered you were out of money?
I was hoping to find a rupee before I heard Ganon's roar, and I found exactly one. And then I was like, well, I better not miss this shot. And then I did.
We were all hoping for that.
Fred was hoping for that.
No, I was hoping he didn't miss. I pointed out that BT was the one who's, you know, done that before and knew what to look for.
I only do that on Goma's, though. Enos does that on Ganon's.
Fair enough.
There's your banana.
Yep. The lovely the banana hiding under there. So if you wanted to 100% the seed, you did have to go into level 9 to get the wooden boomerang out.
I think you've had better ideas.
Yeah, minor details. So, it looks like with your victory here, you are surviving here in the bonus bracket. You're going to be moving on to face Truant Gamer. How do you feel about Truant Gamer there?
You know, I don't know too much about Truant Gamer's abilities in Randomizer. I guess I'm excited for another opponent, but you know, thoroughly disappointed that I have to keep playing the tournament.
Oh, what a shame. But Truant Gamer also fought their way through with a couple of wins in the final couple of rounds, beating Toasty Muffins, beating Lana Gab, and also beating J-Veth as the 3 victories in the first couple of rounds there of the tournament. So hopefully we'll see some exciting action there coming up with that. I know, where were you guys here? I just had you a second ago. Truant played against Shaddy and then actually played against Sis Crusher in the first 2 rounds here, and actually had a pretty darn close match against Sis Crusher there. Only about a minute and a half difference between the 2 of them. So we've got potentially some really good action coming up, and hoping to be able to see you guys have a really good race coming up here shortly.
I can promise you a good race. That's about it.
Yeah, didn't disappoint tonight.
Majeste getting the accidental Triforce there in level 3, so now it's just a case of going through and hopefully quickly finding this silvers here and then going back to level 9 to finish off the job.
Dark Rupee, Your Majesty, have any red bubble problems?
Not that I noticed.
Majeste found when you discovered level 6, you were at the wood sword point, but Majeste at that point had the ladder, so was able to make a little bit more progress early on in level 6. So you guys, I think, were both in there, at least your first time around the same time, and was able to get the wand earlier. So even on some of the stages where the bubbles had potentially been coming into play, Majeste had the wand. Majeste also had early potions as well, but ended up actually using them to get through one of the rooms in level 5, I believe, that had a whole bunch of or level 8, that had a whole bunch of whiz ropes to try to get through.
The street is shrinking.
But yes, here we go. Majeste has discovered the room. At this point, it can't be anything else. It has to be the silvers with the 100%ing of the seed. And so Majeste saving and heading back over to level 9.
And already with a big chunk of level 9 cleared out. It shouldn't take him too much longer. Also armed with that white sword will make shorter work of the pig.
Yep, at this point, I think as you're saying before, Majeste should know that they're going to have to go north somewhere here early in level 9, I think, in order to be able to make progress. We'll see what happens. Should hopefully be an exciting finish here. Let's everyone get out some get some hype in chat to cheer on Majeste through the rest of the race here for the pig.
Go ninja, go, go!
Oh gosh, we're going turtles.
I am waiting for that sprite shuffle.
At some point here, maybe we will see something like that happen. Majeste actually making a beeline up towards the top here. Gonna actually find Ganon in very short order here.
Gotta love those Mario 2 skulls.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Phantos there, I believe, or I could be getting the term wrong. Okay, interesting spawn there for Ganon, but this case is going to be much easier. We only have 8 hits at most required.
Down
I
in
think
6.
Ganon actually rolled slightly low. I think it was only 7 in this case. this point now, we only have a couple more spots to go to be able to get to the pig. We'll see if Majesty is able to to get to the girl, rather. My brain, I swear, my brain is working tonight.
Well, to be fair, usually you play with the Gyptos sprite, so you would be searching for the pig.
Yes, that is very true. Oh, and the staircase that goes a grand total of 1 room south. Gotta love those staircases.
I have an important message for Fred from Darkwing Duck. He says, your cat's breath smells like cat food.
Dang it, he caught me. Here we go here, Dark. Majesty trying to find that last path here. Fortunately, Majesty has the wand, so even though cursed by the bubble, should not be too much of a problem. We're actually going to drink the potion to escape the curse of the bubble.
Oh no. You have to finish cursed. I think I've done that my last 3 matches.
Were you cursed on this one at the end?
Yep. You have to go through that red bubble room, bomb to the side.
Oh, that's true. So Majesty here is trying to hunt down where that final room is. And it's a little bit extra work to be able to hunt down the Zelda, because it can be pretty much in any room. Ganon, at least you get a wider window as to where it is. But Majesty could also pick up one of the hints potentially. We haven't seen any of the old men really. I think we saw one when BT was hunting through to be able to try to get to. Try to figure out where one of the potential hints were here. So, we'd hope to see that come up soon, but we don't know. Majesty literally has every item in the game. Majesty is 100% of this whole thing. I think the only thing that would have officially prevented the quote-unquote 100% was the fact that only took 1 bomb upgrade out of 2 so far. And a couple of hearts.
Money in sight, there's no way to get them bombs.
Yeah, Majesty did take 1, that 124 rupees to get 4 bombs, which, Majesty has utilized those bombs, so it's definitely worked out. Just unfortunate that, in this case, unable to, hunt down the girl for a little bit.
And I think I saw a compass there in that like. Not 100% sure.
You did. But it appears someone else did not see the compass inside the like.
I wonder if there was a second path here. Well, we'll find out, because Majesty is heading, I think, generally in the approximately correct direction here. It's just going to be a case of whether or not there is a southern path up to the girl as well. Let's see what happens here. Is there a bombing path? Looks promising. And by looks promising, I'd say that it looks guaranteed. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs out in chat here, as Majesty has finished with the official SRL time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 22 seconds.
Good game. Awesome race to watch.
Yeah, the matchup was absolutely a ton of fun. Getting to see the two of you guys going on there, and it was definitely could have been anyone's race there. Just ended up you were able to get to level 1 and run through their BT, and Majesty just ended up not getting over level 3. It was really the only difference. The two of you guys were incredibly close, I think, pretty much throughout there until the end, and it was definitely an exciting matchup.
Yeah, those silver arrows really coming into play there. Let's see if Your Majesty will join us for a little chit-chat.
While we're waiting here, we do have a lot more exciting matchups coming up here reasonably soon here for The tournament, we have a couple of matchups due tomorrow. We're going to have Up Lawyer playing against Paratrooper. That'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern. And Dragon Dark against Cantaloupe Me at 10 o'clock Eastern. So those two matchups, restreams are yet to be determined, but feel free to keep an eye out for when those matchups will be. Tuesday night, we'll also feature two really fun matchups. You have Sis Crusher playing against Fury SK. And you're going to have Jake Hoper against Jam Evil. That's a matchup I'm really excited to see as well coming up. That matchup, two players who've been playing this game for an incredibly long time. Both are incredibly skilled. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then Thursday, doing my math here because I can't do math at this point. Wednesday night, the Jake Hoper and Jam and Sis Crusher and Fury will be Tuesday night. Wednesday night, Random Effect against Captain Green in another incredibly strong matchup. And Thursday night, Karakarn against Saver as we continue to plow through the brackets here in the Summer-Fall 2018 tournaments. This is going to be a ton of fun to see.
And then be prepared for the Elite 8.
Be a lot of fun there. Once the Elite 8 comes along, you'll be seeing some flags, some changes. Random Triforces now required instead of just the normal 5 Triforces you've been seeing for most of this tournament. Potentially getting a mixed set of dungeons as well, so that way you might see some dungeons from Second Quest in addition to First Quest. You might see Lionels find their way into dungeons. You may see certain enemies from dungeons find their way into overworlds. The absolute terror of fun when you have orange Wizrobes entering from the side of the screen and therefore appearing in a very staggered format and having to dodge them. It is absolute pure bliss to see that happen.
And let's not forget the mixed Quest Overworld. Not sure if it's going to be Quest 1 or Quest 2 until you find a couple of those spots.
And even then, with the mixed Quest Overworld, you potentially have to sometimes bomb certain spots in order to find out that wasn't an actual cave entrance. So, potentially a ton of fun here going forward. Again, make sure you follow the runners. Make sure you follow Your Majesty and beeTeas, as well as basically the entire crews that are involved with all these tournaments, because this whole thing is insanely awesome. These runners did a ton of work in terms of racing through this in order to be able to pull this off. I mean, the sheer times these runners are getting is absolutely insane for essentially what's in a randomizer. It's essentially a blind seed. Basically playing the game completely blind, and Majesty here pulling off a 128 for virtually 100%.
Good game, sir.
Yes, welcome, Your Majesty.
It does not look like your mic is working as intended.
Oh, whoops, I had myself muted.
There we go.
Welcome in. Good game.
Say again?
So, good game. How walk us through the seed from your perspective. How did that feel?
Everything was tanky, so I avoided killing everything.
Which can be a good case. I mean, you actually were doing really well there early. You were able to get the ladder early out of 1. You were able to get the magical key there when you were desperately starved on keys. How were you feeling at that point? Because I feel like at that point, it almost felt like, aside from the knowledge of where the silvers were, you at that point almost seemed to be going pretty much straight for Triforces once you got that.
Exactly. So I found four dungeons before level 1, and each one was either key blocked or ladder blocked. So when I found the magic key and the ladder in the same dungeon, I was like, well, I'll just go and clear those other dungeons I found. Hopefully I won't have to find another dungeon.
And, potentially could have worked out there. I mean, especially with the fact that you ended up finding the book in 9. We were hoping that you'd get the nice, lovely hint somewhere that would tell you where those silvers were going to be, or at least that they weren't going to be in level 9, but those old men were just completely hidden, and none of them decided to really want to come out and play.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a single old man in level 9.
I think we saw one when BT was in there. It ended up being literally in like the northwest corner, I want to say. But BT hadn't found the book at that point, so we don't know what that old person was going to tell us.
Yeah. So I essentially gambled that silvers were going to be a 9, which isn't something I normally do. Like, what, 3 dungeons left to check, and the White Sword Cave.
So what was your logic there as to why did you make that gamble here? Just curious, want to hear from your view what the logic was.
Well, like I said, normally I don't gamble 9 to have the silvers, but if I'm playing against somebody like BT or RBG, I know they usually do, or at least Redbird does. So I take that into consideration. So going into 9, I was assuming that BT was either already in 9 or on his way to 9. So it was essentially for me is first one to find silvers in 9, if it's there, would win.
It was definitely a smart play. As just in our case, BT happened to find level 3 early, so we happened to know the silvers were there. But it was definitely the right play. You map out level 9, potentially get some of those items, as you said. At this level of the tournament, pretty much anything can go in terms of the play. You actually were the first one into 9. You found level 9, a level 1 a lot earlier than BT, so you had the magical key, you had the ladder there, and from your perspective, that was absolutely, I think, the right play, and you definitely can't knock yourself off for anything there because you played that seed incredibly well there. It just came down to where the silvers ended up being, and BT getting lucky and finding them early, and you didn't. That really was the only difference on this race. And you were able to pull off a 128 with pretty much a 100% completion on the seed, which is pretty darn incredible.
Yeah. I found all the staircases in 9 relatively early too. So I think I found the first staircase, and then I found the first item, which was the red candle. And then I found like 3 more staircases before I found the second item. So then I was thinking, okay, maybe the silver arrows is raft blocked, so that's why I picked up the raft. And then I got the hint, sell not to save the princess. So I was like, well, I guess silver isn't raft blocked. So BT probably already has silvers at this point. So at that point, I was like, well, I'll just go ahead and search whatever I can, overworld.
Yeah, that recorder kind of sent you off in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I mean, I guess level 9 did also, because I was solely focused on getting 5 Triforces and going into 9 looking for silvers once I got the bow.
Yeah, as I said, it was absolutely, I think, the right play for you from your perspective there. You map out level 9, you find out where everything is. I mean, even in your case where you didn't find either the princess or Ganon, you pretty much had Ganon nailed down to the northeast quadrant at that point. So you pulled, as I said, you were able to play a really solid play there, and just, as I said, literally came down to the silvers in this case. But at this point, you've played a great tournament up to this point. It's unfortunate to see that the tournament has come to a close for you at this point, but because, as I said, you've proven to be an incredibly solid player. But thank you for playing in the tournament, and hopefully we'll see you again in some of the future rounds.
Oh, of course. If they're anything like this one, I'll definitely be coming back.
Excellent.
I would probably say this is probably the funnest randomizer tournament I've been in.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. The admin team put a ton of hard work into, picking out the flags, trying to decide something that would be interesting based on what we were what we saw, and wanted to give something a little bit different on this one. The next tournament might be a little bit more traditional. I think it'll depend on how things go, but certainly we try to vary things up to make sure that we get some interesting tournaments coming forward, so that way everyone can hopefully have a lot of fun on it. But again, thank you to Your Majesty for playing tonight. Thank you, beeTeas, as well. Congratulations on moving on. Look forward to seeing the match there against Truant Gamer coming up in the near future. And just want to remind everyone out there to make sure to give everyone a follow. Both of the runners here. Make sure you give them some love on this. Make sure that you give commentary as well. We've got August the 40th there, who has given some absolute great co-commentary. We had Excise Blue doing the tracking tonight, a bang-up job, especially difficult for those of you who haven't tried to do this, trying to track Triforces when you don't even know what level people are in. This can be an incredibly difficult thing to do, and Ice Blue kicked butt at it.
Yes. Thank you for the restreamers, commentaries, and the trackers. I know it was, like I said, short notice, but very much appreciated.
Yep, and let's give a thanks to Fred here for putting all the hard work into the randomizer and everything that entails, and Speed Gaming for hosting us.
All right, and with that,
hopefully, maybe next tournament we'll have Zelda in a random dungeon, if that's possible.
It's technically on the ballpark, something I'm interested in doing here, but we'll see what happens, whether that ends up happening in the tournament or not. But it's definitely something that's on the radar for future things. Okay, so at this point, we're actually going to send you guys over to Speed Gaming 2, I believe, because the Zelda 1 randomizer weekly race that normally has been happening is going on over there. They are doing, I believe, the Swiss flags from the previous tournament are, I believe, the flags that were chosen tonight. So you guys can head on over there and check that out. But again, thank you to everyone who's been doing this. And so for my fellow commentator, August 40th, for the full team, Excise Blue on the tracking side, Speed Gaming, everyone else, I'm F. Coughlin. Thank you guys for watching.
Adios.